Hello everybody and welcome to my channel update for November 2016. We're here to go over what's happening with the channel, where it's going into December and the end of 2016, as well as doing some patron shoutouts for those who backed my channel last month, and just a general talk about anything else that comes to mind as we go. But to start with, I'm going to do the patron shoutouts for those who supported last month, and while I do this new tradition, we're going to show off some fan art that I received to the channel. So if you ever do any fan art of anything I'm playing, send it to me on Twitter ideally, because then I can retweet it and you'll get some exposure. But if you want to, you can email me as well, and I'll include it during these sections so that you've got something to look at while I thank the people who are willing to go above and beyond to support the channel. In general though, just watching is enough, so thank you if you do just that. If you go above and beyond, that's obviously better, but yeah, sticking around watching, that is good enough. So anyway, here's the fan art while I read this list over here. It's just as well I have fan art actually, because I have to bring over a notepad over here and that just makes me look even paler. Anyway, thank you to Omar, this is a quadruple barreled name and I always struggle with it. Norman, Omar, Acevedo, Rivera, there we are. Jarek, Pepper Skinner, Nathan Fraser, Taya Blake, Carneris, Dracovian, Ryan Sadowski, Ashley KP Asher Pfeiffer, Solace Corvus, Screaming Violet, Michael Turner, JD Chamberlain, Jared Tabor, Brian Hisu, Lexi C, or Lexi I guess, Nisala, Just Gaming, Bradley Parry, Richard Bearwell, Aaron Neko Senpai Villasinor, or Sinor, Matsumuni, Terravolt, BGR Lucario, Hunger Pain, Grant Doty, Michael Smith, Peter Ferguson, Thaxton, Derek Williams, Savvy Geek Girl, Joshua Biosine. Again, one of those names I will not get right no matter how many different avenues I take and tackle it. Charlie Abrams, Megan Perry, Andre Highgate, not great, Rachel Weber, Brian O'Connor, Brandon Finney, Brad Beck, Diva Mage, Terrell Smith, James Woody Packard III, Dwayne Kellogg, I think I may have actually written that wrong, because wasn't it Kellogg? I may have written it down wrong. Colton Pierce, Reese Leon, D or Die, Paul Meyer, That One Guy with the Face, Yuki, Casper MH, Jack, The Newbie, and Dustin Dodge. Thank you very much. I'm not going to save that I read those out in case anything goes wrong with this recording. Learned that from 2 months ago. But thank you. And again, if you ever do any fan art of my channel avatar, send it my way and I'll include it so that people who are not included in the patron shoutouts have something to look at while we talk. So anyway, what has been happening in November? Well, we already have seen that Dishonored 2 is underway. That was kind of a last minute decision for me because I wanted something I could record during the day as opposed to live streaming, because I know some people don't like that more and more content is live recorded and then put over to YouTube after the fact. Fair enough, so that's what Dishonored 2 is for. It's just me, it's not with a live audience or anything like that. I think I'm about 2 missions away from finishing it, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's about a 20-part series, give or take. That's what it feels like to me anyway. We'll know for sure soon. Or I will anyway. Inter Gungeon is still continuing as far as solo stuff. There will still be Let's Look At. Expect one of Civ 6. There's going to be one of Planet Coaster. I need to spend a bit more time with that. Let's see, some other indie games I can't mention just yet, and also some AAA stuff as well. There will be one of Final Fantasy 15. I'll probably do one of Pokemon, even though I wasn't provided. Well, I was provided with a Pokemon review code, but only after I'd bought a copy myself, so I just said, don't bother sending me it, send it to someone who needs it. But I will do a look out of that, and a bunch more stuff as well. Another new addition is the fan mail. I hate calling it that, but there's really no better word for it. The fan mail that gets sent to my PO box, I will be doing unboxings of that in bulk. I have 2 things that have arrived via, sitting right up here. The reason I haven't opened it yet is because I know for a fact Valinar has sent a care package from Austria. So I am waiting until that arrives and then I'm going to film opening all 3, having a little look at them. If you ever want to send anything, I mentioned the setup process last time I recorded one of these. It's up, it's running, it obviously works. You can get the address from the About tab of the main YouTube page. I also mention it on Twitter now and then. That's the 2 places I like mentioning it. During streams as well, there's a link to it. Not the actual address being written, but you can press on the link and get to it that way. So if you want to send anything snail mail, that is the way you can do it, and I will do fan mail unboxings, so that's something else I can record during the day as well. There will be unboxing coming up 2 days after you hear this. Maybe 1 day after you hear this, actually. I've already mentioned it on stream you might not have heard that, so I'll keep it to myself. I'll let you be surprised if you aren't already expecting what it might be, based on the day I just said I would get it on. But that's something to look forward to as far as the YouTube side. On the Twitch side, we're streaming a lot of different stuff. There's still a lot of Overwatch, obviously. We're also now streaming Pokemon Sun. And Pokemon Sun has received the most backseating of any game I've ever played on Twitch or YouTube. And it's amazing to me why that is. The only assumption I can make is the average age of a Pokemon player is fairly young, if you're not like old school Gen 1, you played every generation like I have. So maybe they're more inclined to backseat, I don't know, but the atmosphere of live streaming a blind playthrough of Pokemon Sun has been bizarrely bad, I guess. I'm still going to persist. I'm not try-harding my way through Pokemon Sun. I'm kind of doing a relaxed playthrough, and that is not what some people are looking for. At the same time, I don't want everything spoiled for me. I don't care if I miss something, because at the end of it, this is just for entertainment. In my own time, I'm going to play through Pokemon Moon, and in that I will capture Pokemon and add to my collection, so I'll make sure I don't miss anything there. For the blind playthrough though, it's just for fun. So I really just want to enjoy it and hope to provide an entertaining product for people. In general, the game is okay so far. The call for help mechanic is terrible. And I mentioned on Twitter, hey, I think this call for help mechanic is like the worst thing they've ever thought up in a Pokemon game. And that includes the Pokemon that's just a keyring. And I think 90% of the people who replied to that tweet were like, yeah, it's real bad. Every Pokemon has the chance to call for help. Doesn't always succeed, but when it does, a copy of them appears in the battlefield. And if that happens, you can't capture anything until one of them is dead, and it can happen over and over, and the call for help doesn't even eat up the enemy's turn. It's a free turn, and I don't know what they were thinking when they did it. I don't know why they thought that was a good gameplay mechanic. Surely in testing they would have had a fight that would have lasted way too long because the bloody Pokemon you were fighting kept on calling for help. I had one situation where a Pokemon called for help 5 times, succeeded 3 out of those 5. It's not fun. The defense people are giving it is that it has an increased chance of a shiny Pokemon turning up apparently. That doesn't mean anything to me, but I don't think that excuses what is it's not ruining the gameplay for me, but it's really, really detracting from it. I'd be much more pissed off about it if I wasn't making a joke of it while live streaming, let's put it that way, because it is just frustrating as hell. In general though, it's a fun game. I've played every Pokemon generation. I like them even though they're all essentially the same game every single time. Hopefully it's going to provide an entertainment product for you. It's doing okay on YouTube, you know, about as comparable to anything that isn't Overwatch. Twitch side, not so much, but I think people are still wanting to play it for themselves. Keep in mind Europe got it late, so I'm probably going to be behind you. But if you don't want to watch it, that's fair enough. My ethos is, you know, if I'm not playing something you want to watch, there's plenty of other people who will be. There's no problem with going looking for someone else if I'm playing something you don't want to watch. In general, I'd like if you watched as much as I could, as much as you could rather, of what I produce. But I'm aware, I mentioned this before, I treat my channel like a TV station. I'm going to make a lot of different programming, and I don't expect anyone to watch every single thing. That's fine. It might be a long-term series though, because Pokemon games in general can be fairly long. Dishonored, as I say, it'll wrap up pretty quick. I have in mind another game to play after Dishonored 2 is finished in terms of daily recording. Pardon me. I'm not going to spoil what that is yet, I want it to be a surprise. It's something I've been meaning to record for a while, so it's not brand new. It's short, maybe 3 hours tops. So I would say I'd maybe get like a 10-part series out of it at best. It's an indie game, and that's the last hint you're getting. If you can guess, by all means. What else is going on with the Twitch side? Well, we managed to get a ton of subs who I hope are enjoying the emotes they get and the ad-free viewing and whatnot. I think we got over, at our best we got to like 360, although Twitch Prime subs don't auto-renew, so it's gone back down again to about 330, 340-ish at last count. That's still a lot more than I thought it would have just a few months after getting partnership. If you want to spread the love and take your Twitch Prime sub somewhere else after you've spent a month with me, go right ahead, it's fine. Share the love. Twitch Prime is a fantastic idea, and I've definitely benefited from it, so there's no harm in benefiting another Twitch person you watch. Keeping in mind they obviously have to be partnered. On the Twitch side, I am interested in what people would think of bits. That's the currency that Twitch thought up, where it's essentially donating, but Twitch gets to double dip. I'm not a fan of it personally, which is why I haven't turned it on my channel, but occasionally I see people in the chat saying, why don't you have bits enabled? So I guess I'm asking here for feedback. What do you think? Do you want me to activate bits? I think it has an automatic pop-up. It automatically stickies something in the Twitch chat that people can dismiss if they don't like to see it. So there is that. I prefer direct donating, both receiving and giving, as it were, because the person will get more of the share. But maybe people like bits, you get a shiny thing next to your name, you get a pop-up thing, you know. You let me know. But in general, it is ticking along. Viewership, the average viewership is sitting around like, I want to say like 250 on a day that isn't a Friday or a Saturday or a special occasion. That's fine. I don't think it's going to be the heydays of when Overwatch was just out and we were getting like 600 viewers average per stream. I don't think we're going to get back to that for a long time. Which is why in a Gungeon episode I spoke about, you know, if you hit a peak, you've got to be prepared for the other side, because it will eventually go down and then bounce to somewhere else. And that's what's happening here. Don't take that as me complaining about 200 odd people watching me stream every night, apart from Monday, which is the day you'll be seeing this. I'm very grateful. I am hoping that the average audience will continue to go up, even if I do play other things. I'm aware that most people right now are interested in the Overwatch side. I don't have any intention of quitting Overwatch. I still enjoy playing it. There will still be highlights, although, you know, given the changes to quick play, it's going to be very difficult to do the, hey, here's 6 of a new hero against whatever. And in general, the attitude of the player base has been made worse by the changes to quick play. And that's because of the competitive side being pushed so much. The average player, especially once you're over level 100, is generally much more interested in winning at any cost and deriding those who are not playing that way than, you know, just having a good time. Like ever so often you'll run into a Reinhardt that's just concerned with charging, and that's okay, that's fine. And then you'll run into a Reinhardt that's just bodyguarding a Bastion for the whole round because it's in a choke point, and you know it'll make it hard on the enemy team. I don't see the fun in that. They'll win, probably, you know, but I just don't see the fun in that side of it. And in general, the amount of bad manners in quick play has massively increased, and the amount of teabagging, talking shit to your team, talking shit to the enemy, it's gotten worse. And I really hope that Blizzard pays attention, because if anything is ever going to sour me on Overwatch, it's not going to be the game probably, it's going to be the atmosphere the game creates. I don't want it to go into MOBA territory, I don't want it to be full of arseholes. And it's sadly getting like that. The gameplay itself I still enjoy. It might just get to the point where I just turn off all chats. That might help. Because a game I enjoy that much, I don't want it to go that way. TF2 never went that way, that's why I stuck with it for years. I know there is, you know, toxicity in TF2, or there was, back when I played it, but it was never that severe or pronounced, because TF2 was a very loose game. I don't know if that's the apt description for it. I liked Overwatch better when it was like that as well, and it's not like that anymore. So it's very interesting, we'll see where it goes. In December they're bringing out a new map that's introducing jump pads, and they want to test that to see how it works as a mechanic for levels and also for potentially a hero in the future. That'll be interesting, it might change the way the game plays dramatically, who knows. So I am looking forward to that. I'm interested in the Symmetra changes, obviously, that are happening right now. They're much needed, I guess, and they've made her maybe a bit too powerful right now, but they'll balance out as something better. But Overwatch in general, still enjoying it. Not enjoying the community for it as much as I did, but the game itself I do still enjoy, so it is going to be a regular staple of the channel, of the Twitch side, YouTube side. It's still going to be around, it's not going anywhere yet. May do in the future, who knows. I think that is everything I wanted to cover. That's everything I'm making video wise right now covered anyway. Going into December I am going to trial run streaming some Final Fantasy 15, which will be out a couple of days after you hear this. I'll see how the audience takes to that. If they're not interested on the Twitch side, or I wouldn't imagine they'd be interested on the YouTube side, probably just play that in my own time, but eventually I will do a look at of it to share some thoughts. As far as anything else out in December, I can't think of anything offhand, so we'll be seeing more Gungeon in December, you know, once some other series have cleared up. If you're interested in more Gungeon, be sure to check the Just Flix Gaming Stuff Live playlist, where I put all the miscellaneous live stream games I cover, because every so often we are playing Gungeon, and every so often I'm playing it with L, and we conceived a point system where we have, not races per se, but we have a point scoring system where we kind of compete with each other to see who can get the most points by the end of a standard run, both playing as the same character, but we both have different runs, so different guns, different bosses. We're still refining the rules. We've added a couple more to add negatives because of we did a trial run, which is in the playlist already. So you might see that again. That was kind of fun. I kind of liked that idea, and just chatting about Gungeon with someone as we played. It's the best you're going to get since I can't play it co-op because it's local only. So I think that about covered it. Did the shout out, showed off the fan art, covered where the channel is right now. Thank you very much if you continue watching. It is greatly appreciated. It helps me keep on doing this, whether you just watch for free, whether you donate, become a patron, sub on Twitch. There should be more emotes coming soon as well, by the way, and also different icons based on how long you've been subscribed. In fact, if you're seeing this, I think you're seeing this on the day, it'll be my 5th month of partnership. If not the day, then the day after. So that's good. One last thing as well, going into December, Christmas isn't my thing. I'm not into Christmas, but I have no desire to ruin your Christmas if you're into Christmas. So I can't guarantee that my live streams will be uninterrupted through December. They probably won't. We'll be spending a lot of time with family due to losing a family member earlier this year, so I'll probably be occupied because I'll have other commitments. The videos, however, on YouTube will continue all year. Doesn't matter if it's Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day, whatever. The videos on YouTube will keep coming up. So if you want a distraction at Christmas because you're alone, or maybe because you have too big a family, it'll be provided for you if you need it. That's the joy of YouTube, the free entertainment. It'll be there for you if you need it. And with that, I think I've covered everything I want to cover, so I will see you at the end of December. The December channel update will probably be misplaced a little bit. But anyway, thanks for listening, and ta-ta for now.